trash talk, which is definitely cool, as we are going to go into the points of the match, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be too surprised by Damwon's statistics. They were definitely the best by a very large margin throughout the entirety of the regular split, only to be beaten in stats like that by an SKT of 2015.
Yeah,
so,
they're undefeated on blue side.
Yeah.
19 wins, 0 losses.
They're also starting this series on blue side, by the way, guys.
Yeah, there it is. There's the tie record, Damwon and SKT of old. And honestly, I feel like if you look at the context surrounding both of those streaks, Damwon's this summer, it feels a little more impressive because of the level of competition, how much the game has evolved, but also the context in which some of their losses came in were complete robberies. So everything should surround it. Nuguri, obviously, the king of top lane here in LCK, has a lot of first places in his stats.
Yes. In fact, don't be too surprised, guys. There's only a few players that don't have first in basically every stat. It's sort of what happens when you do a hell of a lot of win. Nuguri's damage stats, though, are nutty. He actually does more damage than any other player on his team.
Yeah.
As far as damage share is concerned.
What about Doran? Like, Doran played so much better on semifinals, and also he's the player who solo killed most against Nuguri. So I think this matchup is really fun.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. This is a matchup, though, that I think is the most imbalanced between these two teams. I think Pyoshik isn't quite at the level of Canyon yet, and this is going to be a huge test to see whether he's actually going to be able to stand up to it.
Well, I think it's a bit of a Grand Canyon is what is going to be the difference here between these two. I feel like this is really the biggest differential that exists between the two teams. And so, given how mid and top lane can play, I feel like Canyon, he's going to be a lot more enabled than Pyoshik is unless Chovy is really popping off in this series, which I consider to be basically the one pillar that DRX has coming into this, and it's really going to matter how he performs today.
Yeah. I'm expecting Chovy to be able to actually win when it comes to farm, but it's going to be very, very difficult to win the game. We do need to remind everyone that OnFleek did actually get a pentakill as a jungler in the Kesper Cup, but the Kesper Cup doesn't count. So that's why I think a lot of you were remembering pentakills from junglers. But very, very impressive from Canyon, but also impressive from this gentleman here. The mid lane matchup is, I think, what most people are going to be watching. And Chovy, especially in his farm stats, it doesn't matter about the rest of them. His farm stats are actually ludicrous.
Yeah. I mean, this is the main matchup for today, by the way. Showmaker versus Chovy. I think both players, each one is going to be the MVP of the finals. I
Yes.
Yeah. Whoever's going to win, it is going to be off the back of their mid laner, which is very exciting because that means that, you know, if Chovy is able to get the victory, especially if Showmaker is, then we're sending both of these players to Worlds, which is going to be very exciting. But having a look down towards the bottom side, Def, no stranger to the World Championships, was of course able to topple Chovy himself in 2018, as they were talking about earlier. See whether he can make it back up there.
And this guy made his meta, his own meta. Everyone just tried to follow his meta, try to copy the Pantheon, but no one could do that.
No, it definitely didn't happen.
If it's going to actually end up getting picked here today, banned away or whatnot, I can't imagine DRX wanting to actually ban it, but we'll see what happens. Deft is also a pretty big question mark today. Which Deft are we going to get? And with the way that the marksman meta tends to be right now, Jinx, as Watt had mentioned during the opening, it is a champion that could come out because it's good against a lot of the current meta champions, and it's one of Def's most iconic champion picks.
Yeah, I think he still has over an 80% win rate on the champion throughout his career, right? This is forever.